The best place to learn about Jamestown's early history is at the Fenton Historical Society. It's named after Reuben Fenton, a 19th century industrialist who lived here and was elected governor of New York in 1864. But this city was named after its founder, James Prendergast, who settled in the area back in 1807.
He was a member of a large family from eastern New York, from Dutchess County, who emigrated here. The entire family emigrated and bought land on the lake. Now, they bought land at a place now known as Prendergast Point, where there is a fish hatchery today.
Legend has it Prendergast traveled along the shoreline of Chautauqua Lake in search of two horses that had gotten free, and reaching the area where the Chautauqua River empties the lake, he decided to build a town.
He bought the land, 1,000 acres, at $2 an acre. The first building he built was a sawmill for the manufacture, for the cutting down of the logs. Now, in those days, the logs were floated down the rivers in large rafts to the large cities where they were sold.
That lumber business was the very beginning of the furniture industry, which flourished in Jamestown until the 1960s. It's also one of the things that attracted so many Swedish immigrants in the mid-1800s. But there was something else, too.
The area resembles Sweden in a good many ways. The Swedish people began to come in large groups in the late 1850s, and the Swedish population here in Jamestown today is still probably the major ethnic group.
Jamestown has always been a manufacturing town, although industry has been on the decline in recent years. But it's always had something else going for it, Chautauqua Lake.
Now, Chautauqua Lake is a wonderful lake. It's about 18 miles long. It's a good lake for fishing, and in the 19th century, it became more or less a playground for wealthy Victorians. Hotels grew up, 15 or 20 or so large, substantial structures, great big, beautifully looking hotels grew up, and people would come and stay for an entire season, stay for a couple of weeks. Often the people came to Jamestown on the railroad as a place of embarkation for their vacations. Now, the railroad came in 1860, so we're talking sort of mid-Victorian times, and there were other entertainments on the lake, and Jamestown, situated at the foot of the lake, was in a position to sort of host the visitors who did come.
This map, which dates back to the late 1800s, illustrates nicely the relationship of the city of Jamestown to Chautauqua Lake, both in terms of geography and historical significance. Here you have Chautauqua Lake, the northern basin, the southern basin flowing into the Chautauqua River, and over here, the city of Jamestown. It is from that point that all those wonderful steamships plied these waters, carrying visitors and travelers to any one of a number of fine hotels along the lakeshore. And now, Jamestown is pinning much of its future on the lake and the visitors it can bring here. Much of the talk is about tourism, and events like Lucy Fest fit right in.